You may be. Well, Trump was joking the other day when the latest poll came out, talking about how he was 10 points above Biden. And he said, there's another indictment coming. I just know it. There's another indictment coming because every single time something good has happened to Trump, something bad happens, you know, or whenever something comes out about Biden or his son, then something bad happens to Trump. So it's one of those two things. Well, that poll came out, and here we are. We've got the results. CNBC just released about an hour ago that Trump and his companies are liable for fraud in the New York lawsuit, a judge rules. A judge has ruled that the former President Donald Trump and his company are liable for fraud in a lawsuit from New York Attorney General Letitia James. And as part of that decision, he has canceled the New York business certificates for Trump and the other defendants in the suit in the Manhattan Supreme Court. In his ruling, he found that Trump had made false and misleading valuations for multiple real estate assets in statements to insurers and banks over the course of the years. Because of those misstatements, Trump had then inflated his true net worth by billions of dollars. And he apparently had said at one point that, well, he can basically name anything he wants as a valuation because he calls up Saudi Arabia and says, hey, I want to sell this building. This is how much it is. And Saudi Arabia will pay it. You know, valuation of things really is nebulous. It is a matter of who are you? What can you offer to the person who's buying? Where is the location? You know, real estate is location, 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 right? There are so many things that factor into what a building is worth. I've been through that a couple of times with trying to sell homes. I recently sold the building that had my business, and we lived in the apartment upstairs. You know, it was impossible. You could not get a Zillow valuation or a Realtor.com valuation because it was an unusual property. It was a 100-year-old building that was in the middle of a residential area. It was grandfathered in for commercial, so nobody knew what it was worth. It was basically worth whatever somebody would pay for it. Obviously, I thought it was worth X amount. The people who bid on it thought, nah, it's worth Y amount. So I don't know. I don't know the details of this case. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll try and see if I can look something up here, but we're going to be discussing this some more in just a few minutes. I'm going to be going over to it's called Family of Conservatives, FOC3. Check out that channel. I'm going to be on there with Andrew and Dave, not in Cali, and I can't put a link in there right now because I'm doing my cell phone live instead of like planning this all out ahead, because this is just breaking news here. So of course this is going to impact Trump because his entire company is now being forced to liquidate. How many people does he employ? Anybody know that? I would like to know, how many people does he employ? Because the Trump organization as a corporation is what runs a lot of his businesses, right? So what is going to happen? I mean, is this something that can be appealed? They gave him 10 days. How can you possibly dissolve a corporation that's like millions of dollars, maybe billions of dollars, right? What happens to all those employees? This is, in my opinion, completely political. What do you think? Yeah, I see, Ingloid, I appreciate your comment. Yeah, like Hunter's paintings. You know, they're worth whatever the buyer is willing to pay. As to whether or not that's illegal or fraud, I guess it depends on who your father is, right? That's what it depends on. But yeah, he wouldn't be getting money for his paintings if he wasn't who he is, right? Let me see what else this article has to say here. And again, we'll go into more depth on this over at FOC3, I believe. Look for Family of Conservatives 3. I'll try and put a link in this description or comment as soon as I go off of here. We're going to start over on that channel as a live at 3 o'clock. So please go on over there and ask your questions, and we'll have access to being able to show you things on screen and everything. I haven't been live on my desktop in a while, so when I went to go hit live from my desktop, it said your YouTube certificate has expired because I hadn't been on there in a while. Yes, absolutely political. Absolutely. I totally agree. Hey, we got 9 people that are supposedly watching right now, and I only got 4 likes. Help me out here. Get some more people commenting too. Though, in Lloyd, I really appreciate your comments. It really helps get the word out. But I want to go over a little bit more what he said here because I haven't even read the whole thing. So I'm looking at CNBC. Obviously, it's not going to be anything in favor of Trump. So it just goes on to say that a judge ruled that former President Donald Trump and his company are liable for fraud. In his scathing decision, he canceled the New York business certificates for Trump and the other defendants. I don't know who those other defendants are. CNBC has asked a spokeswoman for Attorney General James if the ruling prohibits Trump and other defendants from doing business in New York, as the wording of the decision suggests. So it absolutely does look like that. Goron, in granting partial summary judgment to James, found that Trump had made false and misleading valuations for multiple real estate assets in statements to insurers and banks over the course of years. Because of those misstatements, Trump inflated his true net worth in annual financial statements by billions of dollars, according to the decision. The judge ordered that within 10 days, the defendants must recommend no more than 3 potential independent receivers to manage the dissolution of the corporations which the judge has canceled business certificates for. The defendants include Trump, his sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, former Trump Organization chief financial advisor, the company executive and corporate entities. The judge also ordered sanctions of $7,500 for each attorney who represented the Trump defendants for making frivolous and previously rejected arguments in court filings. Again, it's this matter of going after the attorneys. What determines whether something is frivolous? An idea of how you can defend your client. Maybe there isn't a precedent for that, but you know what? You don't have precedent for something until something is accepted. So basically, when this much is on the line, of course, attorneys are going to try everything possible to defend their client. But why was this frivolous, and why are you going after the attorneys? I mean, the next step is, let's put them in jail, or let's disbar them like they did to Giuliani. They totally took away his ability to earn a living at the job that he has devoted his life to. In his ruling, he also dismissed Trump's request for summary judgment in his favor. It did not settle 6 other issues in dispute in the case. Those issues will be addressed at a trial due to begin on Monday. So if there's a trial already going to be happening on Monday, then why the heck was the judge involved at all in making this statement? I mean, it sounds like, what the heck? I mean, summary judgment, I can understand. All right, if it's in favor of the defendant, then yeah, go ahead and issue the summary judgment. But if it's not, and you're going to have a trial in a couple days anyway, then the whole thing should be put on the judge, on the jury. But no, in this case, they are saying, we're just going to go ahead and take away all your business licenses. We're going to completely eradicate your ability to make a living. We're going to impact all your employees, everything else. And for what? I mean, this is ridiculous. This is all a political witch hunt. This would not be happening if Trump was not running for office. Let me know what you think. It's not over. He will pull this out. John, I hope you are right. But everything's against him. And it seems like the Supreme Court wants to just wash their hands of Trump. They don't want to bring anything up to that level. So I really hope you're right, John. I hope that we can get he can get the next level up to talk to review this. But I mean, with only 10 days available, I don't know how that works. So wrong what the evil is trying to do, Carrie is saying, but nothing happens to the real criminals. Yep, I see you. I know. All right, so in this, continuing on with this article here, so the trial is going to begin on Monday. James is seeking $250 million in damages in the case. The 35-page ruling details how Trump fraudulently valued his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, Trump Park Avenue, and 40 Wall Street in New York City, his Seven Springs property in Westchester County, New York, and his golf course in Aberdeen, Scotland. Again, how do you evaluate a piece of property? you can evaluate it based on what you think it will resell for in the market. You can value it based on how much income it is bringing in. There's a number of different methods to use, but they're all subject to interpretation, as I said, because it really is in the eye of the beholder and who wants to buy it. And when you are the president or the former vice president, or former president, sorry, Vice President Biden, yeah. So anything he wants, he can get to, but I'm sure he's not being looked at as to what he values his property at. Carrie, I hope you're absolutely right. God is going to turn it around. And I know that God's timing is not our timing. So we just have to be patient, just keep praying. All right, continuing on here. Yeah, the golf course in Aberdeen, Scotland. Quote, time and time again, the court is not comparing one appraisal to another. It is comparing an independent professional appraisal to a pie in the sky dream of concocted potential, Engeron wrote. After noting that Trump submitted statements falsely claiming that the Trump Tower apartment in which he resided for decades was nearly 3 times its actual size, the judge wrote, a discrepancy of this order of magnitude by a real estate developer sizing up his own living space of decades can only be considered fraud. All right. Does they have a point there? 3 times the amount of square footage? Okay, well, how do you figure that? I don't know. I know that, for instance, I had a house that had a basement, and if it's finished, then you get to count that that square footage, and if it isn't finished, you don't. So I don't really know how that works. But I've got to get off of this for right now because I'm going to be jumping over to the live stream here in a couple minutes. So as soon as this gets up there, I'm going to go ahead and put the link to where we are, and that's going to be starting in about 4 minutes. So anyhow, God bless. Thanks for watching and joining me in on this. And I'll try and make the time come out here more often, because I think that in these times we really need to show that there's a number of people out there that think the same way and see this. And I think it gives encouragement. I know it gives encouragement to me when I see other people posting and all. So anyhow, God bless. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you all next time. Bye.